Just before you say I do. An Uncovered Secrets original. The cathedral bells rang with grace and grandeur, their chime echoing like a heartbeat through the stone halls. Rows of guests turned in perfect unison as Elena Voss stepped into the aisle, draped in ivory silk, lace whispering with each step. She looked like a vision painted in candlelight. At the altar stood Lucas Ward. Billionaire. Philanthropist. Tech visionary. The kind of man the media called untouchable. To the world, it was a fairy tale union. Beauty meets brilliance, legacy marries ambition. But behind the veil of perfection, a fracture waited to split the story wide open. And only one woman saw it coming. High above the ceremony, from the cathedral's mezzanine, Raina Cross stood motionless. She wasn't on the guest list. She wasn't family. She was a shadow, private security hired quietly by Elena's father after a series of anonymous threats. Most thought it was paranoia. Raina knew better. Threats weren't warnings. They were promises. As the priest lifted his hand to begin the vows, it happened. Crack. A sound like thunder sealed inside stained glass. Gasps. Screams. A red bloom spread across Lucas Ward's pristine tuxedo as he staggered back. And collapsed. Chaos exploded. Guests dove to the floor. Elena was pulled behind the pulpit, her veil ripped away like a flag in a storm. Raina's gun was out before the second echo faded. Eyes scanning, windows, rafters, shadows. But there was no second shot. Just silence. Cold. Calculated. Surgical. Lucas was alive, but barely. The bullet had torn through his shoulder. Why miss? On purpose. The cathedral was locked down. Raina, weapon holstered but heartbeat racing, was granted access to the security feeds. That's when she saw her. A bridesmaid. But not one on the list. She moved through the stairwell toward the roof minutes before the shot. Dressed like everyone else. Perfect smile. But Raina froze as the face came into focus. Sasha Lin. A ghost. Former MI6. Vanished 3 years ago in Prague. Presumed dead after a mission gone wrong. Yet here she was. Alive. Armed. Watching. Raina reached the rooftop. Gun raised. Breath steady. Sasha stood waiting. Calm. Hands lifted in surrender. A rifle lay at her feet. You're too late, Sasha said. Her voice, too calm. You tried to kill him, Raina growled, circling. That wasn't an assassination. Sasha smirked. It was a warning. Then what's the real target? The wind screamed between them. Sasha's answer cut deeper than the bullet. You've been protecting the wrong person. Lucas isn't who you think. He's not a genius. He's a ghost maker. A killer in a tuxedo. Raina paused. Rumors had always clung to Lucas, whispers of whistleblowers who vanished, lawsuits buried under billions. But no proof. Nothing stuck. Check his jacket, Sasha said. You'll see. Back at the ambulance, medics fought to keep Lucas alive. Raina peeled back the blooded lapel of his tux. A small switch. Metallic. Hidden like a jewel. Wires snaked beneath his shirt. It wasn't an accessory. It was a trigger. Following the signal, Raina descended into the cathedral's underbelly, stone corridors echoing like tombs. Behind a boiler room panel, she found it. A bomb. 200 pounds. High grade. Wired to Lucas's heartbeat. If he died, everyone died. Her mind raced. What kind of man wires himself to a bomb? Unless the explosion wasn't meant for him. Unless this wedding was never about love. It was a disappearing act. She confronted Sasha again, now in cuffs. Talk, Raina demanded. Sasha's eyes burned. Lucas planned to fake his death. The blast would be his escape. The bride? A liability. Her family owns land he needs for a project. Once the prenup was signed, he'd vanish, with everything. And you? Raina asked. I got too close in Prague. Lucas had me burned. I faked my death, and waited. Then the bomb's timer activated, triggered by Lucas's dropping vitals. Stopwatch #00:01:37. Raina knelt. Sweat slicked her brow. Her hands worked on instinct, cutting wires, steady but fast. Stopwatch #00:00:12. 00:00:07. The final wire. Stopwatch #3. 2. Click. Silence. The countdown vanished. The cathedral stood. Whole. Breathing. Lucas survived the bullet. But his secrets didn't. When Rayner exposed the switch, investigators unearthed everything. Hidden accounts in Panama. Black contracts under shell corporations. A trail of accidents tied to former employees. And the prenup? It was a murder clause in disguise. If Elena had signed it, she'd have vanished, just like the others. Sasha was taken into custody. But Rayner testified for her. Lucas? He was arrested at the very altar he almost used as a tombstone. Epilogue. The ring never fit. Elena Voss disappeared from the spotlight. Sasha vanished again, this time, for good. Rayner? She declined every bonus. Every interview. Because she wasn't there for headlines. She was there to make sure the truth surfaced. Just before the wedding rings. This was another truth buried beneath diamonds, vows, and blood. Subscribe to Uncovered Secrets for stories they never wanted you to hear.